Hey guys, Steve with Braun's Painting Network here. In today's video, I want to take a few minutes to talk about how we go about repairing nail pops or also sometimes screw pops as part of our preparation and repair process for interior painting projects. Earlier this year, we put out a very thorough video in our paint trainer series about how we go about our entire preparation and repair process. However, for whatever reason in that particular project, when we shot that video, there weren't any nail pops or screw pops. So I wanted to create this video as kind of a supplement on how we approach repairing nail pops. Let's take a look right now. So, if you're not familiar with what a nail pop or a screw pop is, it's essentially an outward protrusion through the sheetrock of either a sheetrock nail or a screw, is essentially loosening up from the wood or the framing stud, typically a 2x4 that is behind the wall. And it's popping out through the sheetrock and is creating, something that's not very attractive. And why this occurs could be any number of reasons. Could be attributed to the settling of the home, temperature changes, humidity changes, things of that nature. Maybe improper, screws or nails were being used, whatever it is. But it can be a somewhat common problem, particularly in our area in the Northeast. And it's a part of the mix when you're doing preparation and repair. You can't be shocked if you come across something like this, an outward protrusion or a nail pop or a screw pop. Now, in this case, these were definitely nails. Why there are two nails stacked on top of each other so close, I'm not sure. It may have been either an attempt at a prior repair, or maybe during the initial sheetrock installation, the installer felt like maybe they missed a stud and tried to go over the top a little to the right. I'm not really sure. Always very easily verified if you're aligned on a stud. You can use a stud finder to verify that, or when you do apply a screw, it should be very clear and obvious with the pressure and the resistance that you're hitting a stud. If you were to hit error, it's going to go through really quick, and you should know. But in either regard, it's a little unusual that you would have two nail pops right on top of each other like this. It would usually be one, but we're going to go ahead and give you a look on how we go about repairing this. First step is you want to break out the protrusion. Make it worse to make it better. Here, we're using a 5-way tool, using the scraping feature, kind of using the butt edge now to kind of push the protrusion back in after it was broken out. An alternative method, you could certainly use a utility knife to cut out the edge like we see right here. Either way, you're kind of breaking out, whether it's scraping or cutting out that outward protrusion. You're going to expose the nail head or screw head, in that case, and then kind of scrape away the residual debris. Use the butt edge to kind of push it in. So there's a little bit of instability. So a great best practice is typically to remove the nails. Here we're demonstrating actually pushing the nails back in and resetting them, particularly with two stacked on top. Rather than trying to rip them out when they were in there pretty tight, we pop them back in. What's really important is that you use new sheetrock screws above and below the popped nail, and you want to set them just a little bit past the paper there. You don't want to leave them sticking out, but not too far in where you're breaking the paper. And we're going to set another one up above. All right. So, as I alluded to earlier, the most common best practice after you break open that protrusion is to remove either the screw or the nail from the opening prior to installing a new screw above and below, and then fill in that void. Biggest reason being that if there's any integrity issues with that opening, you don't want the screw or the nail that was already popping out to eventually just work its way to the surface again. So that's why it's recommended typically to remove it. Very easy to remove screws. You can just use your screw gun to very easily back those out. Uh, Many nails will often be loose, and you can kind of easily use a hammer or a nail pull to remove them from the opening or even your hands. In some cases, though, they're actually in there still very tight, and you can create kind of a bigger mess and even more damage pulling them out. So, using a nail set like we demonstrated sometimes can be a practical option to keep your repair moving forward. So to fill the voids, we'll commonly use this all-purpose ready mix joint compound from USG. This is high adhesive, so it's really good for setting repair tape or for filling large voids and damage like we had here. Here we kind of pre-filled it, and you just kind of want to set it on heavy enough to completely fill the voids and allow for maybe a little bit of shrinkage, but not so heavy that it's going to be a nightmare to skim over the top of with something that's maybe a little lighter weight, like +3 joint compound. Here's an example of us actually using FiberFuse repair tape over those two large voids just to add a little bit more of reinforcement, kind of going the extra mile here because of the size of those holes and the fact that two of them were stacked on top of each other. I can tell you though that typically with nail pops, most commonly you're not going to use tape. You're just going to fill that void with either a joint compound like we just used or some sort of easily sanded painter's putty. There's a lot of different options on what you can use to fill. One disadvantage to using the all purpose ready mix version of joint compound we use is that they do want an overnight dry on that. So if you're working on a project where you don't have a lot of other things to do and you're really waiting on this nail pop repair, then you'll want to consider using some of the setting type powder joint compounds that you have to mix up yourself. But the advantage there is that they dry chemically and they dry much quicker so that you can do multiple skim coats in a day. Usually, when you are filling a nail pop hole, you're going to want a couple of skim coats of joint compound, one to kind of pre-fill and put a little bit of a heavier layer on so that it can handle a little bit of shrinkage, and then one really tight, more easily sandable skim coat over the top. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you found that video helpful. And if you would like to learn more about the entire preparation and repair process for interior painting projects, things such as cleaning, scuff sanding, caulk work, stain blocking, how do you fix cracks and holes in the wall, other types of anomalies, then I would encourage you to stick around and watch this next video coming up that we did as part of our paint trainer series, where we take a look at all of these things. Happy painting.